morning, everyone, or good evening if it's evening for you, or good afternoon, wherever you guys are in the world. So today we're here for another live stream. So I'm Daphne, in case those of you who don't know my name. I've been on the live streams in and out. So it's been a while since I've done a live stream, but today we will be talking about culture in the US. So this is a preview of 2026 in the USA. So again, if you're tuning in, please feel free to write in the chat box, make your comments, or if you have questions, or if you want to just say hi, tell me where you're from, anything like that, you can type it into the chat. Okay, so today's lesson is a little bit different, not maybe the usual type of lesson, because we're talking about culture and different events that will be happening in the US. Okay, so basically in 2026, we're almost there. Not yet, we're maybe a little bit over halfway through December, so just about 2 weeks or so until next year. So 2026 will be a landmark year in the US. So with a lot of different events for history, sports, politics, and that's all going to be in the spotlight. So that's just our little intro before I get into all the actual events that will be happening. And before we start with the events, don't forget to check the link in the description for you to get up to 68% off on a lifetime premium. So if you go into the description and click the link, you will be able to find our holiday discount sale. You can master English, learn English. This is only for the holidays, so don't miss out on these deals, up to 68% off. And ooh, I see people are tuning in. Good morning, good evening. Ooh, someone's from Canada. I've never been to Ontario, but I have been to Montreal. Okay, so the first event that we will talk about is this long word here. It's American semiquincentennial. So yes, that was a handful. So semi means half, like a semicircle, half a circle. Quin is 5. Then centennial, cen is 100. So basically what this means is half of 5 times 100, which is about, if anyone can do math, that's 250. So it is the anniversary of the U.S. independence. So it's 250 years since the U.S. signed the Declaration of Independence, and we got our freedom from the British, yes, from the UK or from Britain. And basically on July 4th, that's Independence Day. So there will be a lot of events throughout the year to celebrate our 250th anniversary. So there's going to be parades, exhibitions, fireworks, of course, celebrations. And so right before the word that we looked at was semiquincentennial, but there are other names as well. So the other name would include bisesquicentennial, sesquicentennial, quarter millennium, and the most straightforward one being America 250. So America 250, because it's 250 years since freedom, since independence from Britain. So there will be a lot of events. For example, I believe in Virginia, they're going to have their 250th convention, and there's going to be a bunch of historical events all day, and I think this is also going to be broadcast on TV. There's also going to be something called the Sail 250, where a lot of military ships will be sailing from ports to ports, so maybe from like ports in New York, in Massachusetts. So all of those events will be happening. And where I'm from in New Jersey, there will be a reenactment of the Battle of Princeton, which was one of the battles fought many years ago in the American Revolutionary War. So they're going to do a reenactment with that and a bunch of other events. So I think there's going to be drone shows and great things like that. You can also Google America 250, and I believe there's a website, and that will show you different events that are planned throughout the year. And also there will be a countdown, I think, until the events happen and until July 4th, 2026. So each area will have different events that you can check out. And I see people are joining in from Pakistan. Great, lovely to meet you. And where am I from? I am from the US, so what we're celebrating, what I'm talking about, but I'm specifically from New Jersey, so hence I mentioned the whole Princeton reenactment in New Jersey. Princeton is in New Jersey. Okay, so yeah, significant events are planned for different cities. So Boston is a big city, Philadelphia, New York, Charleston. Philadelphia being important because that's where the Declaration of Independence was signed back in 1776, I believe. And Philadelphia is in Pennsylvania. So if you go there, there's a lot of historical museums, landmark sites, same as Virginia, New York. So there will also be small celebrations across the country. So it's going to be a very big year, given that it's the 250th anniversary since independence, since signing the Declaration of Independence. So be sure to watch out for that. You can also go try different foods at all of these events. There's going to be games. I think there's going to be different drone shows, fireworks, things like that. And the next event that will happen is the FIFA World Cup 2026. So for those of you that are into sports, specifically soccer, this is for you. Personally, I don't know much about soccer, but this is a big event that will be happening, and there will be a lot of games that are hosted in the US. So some will be in Canada and Mexico, but a lot of the matches, including the finals, will take place in different US cities. So this is going to be a big event. And for those of you who play soccer, watch soccer, this is going to be for you. So cities like Atlanta, Los Angeles, and Dallas are all cities that will be hosting some of the matches during the World Cup. So this is going to be a very big thing in the US. I think there will be a total of 16 cities in the US that are hosting matches, and the finals being held at the MetLife Stadium in New York City. So it says New York City. It is known as, I guess, the MetLife Stadium in New York because some of the big teams for football, like the New York Giants, play a lot of their games there. But actually, the MetLife Stadium is in, location-wise, New Jersey, specifically East Rutherford. And I know that because I am from New Jersey. So I've been to the stadium before for concerts. So yes, the finals will be held at this stadium, which is technically in New Jersey. Okay, the next big US event is that the penny will no longer be in circulation. So the penny stops circulation. So this is the penny for those of you that don't know, or for those of you who have been to the US and have seen this little coin here. It's basically 1 cent. So this is what it looks like. It's like a copper color, not that big. So the US penny is expected to stop production in 2026. So all the existing pennies out there will still be accepted as money, but they will no longer be printing anymore. So beyond maybe some special collector's items. So if you have a penny, maybe hold on to those pennies, keep those pennies. Maybe in the future, they could be worth more, who knows? So yes, ending this penny production reflects a changing habit, especially because in today's age, digital payments like cashless is becoming very popular. People pay by phone on their Apple Pay, Samsung Pay. You can also pay by credit card, of course, and there's a lot of, in Japan, there's a lot of like mobile apps that you can pay with. So just all over the world, everything is going towards a digital cashless type society. So there will no longer be the penny. So if you have one, you can keep it and hold on to it, save it, do whatever. And, ooh, okay, more people are joining. Great. Ooh, from Brazil, never been, but would love to go. Ooh, someone from Morocco, nice. I don't know what time it is there, but hope you're having a lovely morning, afternoon, evening. Okay, so again, if you missed what I said earlier at the beginning of the live stream, we are having our big holiday sale up to 68% off on a lifetime premium plan. And you can learn English. This will help you with your studies, become fluent. You can have conversations. This is only for the holidays, so don't miss out on our big sale. And you can go into the description. There will be a link for you to click, and that will lead you to our sale. This will be only for the holidays, so don't miss out. Okay, the next event that we will be looking at is the Artemis second mission. So if those of you who are into space or going to the moon, this is for you. So right now it is planned for sometime in February of 2026. So NASA will launch the Artemis II mission. And this will involve a crewed spaceship doing a flyby of the moon. So they will go around the moon. I believe it's scheduled for maybe around like a 10-day type journey. So what it says here is a flyby mission means that the Orion spaceship used for the mission will go around the moon in a loop without landing and then return to Earth. So they will just go around, and I think, if I'm correct, you can also look it up online. It will be about 10 days for them to go around. And that will be, I guess, a big thing for the US. And I see more people are commenting. Yes, Boston, Chicago, LA, New York, Washington, DC, those are all great places to visit, especially for history, for sports. Yes, for sure. I definitely recommend those. Oh yes, people are also commenting other events that are happening, like the Grammy Awards. Yes, that's a big one. The 68th Annual Grammy Awards. Yes. So for those of you that are into different, I guess, more contemporary culture, that is for you. And we will also have what we call the midterm elections. So this is basically the elections during the midpoint of a president's 4-year term. So we're not electing a new president. It's basically where we elect representatives from the House or also the Senate. So it's about a third of the Senate, and all the seats in the House of Representatives are up for election. So this will happen on November 3rd of 2026. During the midterms, there's also going to be a lot of state elections, so such as the gubernatorial elections, which is for the governors of the states, or local ballot proposals like that will all take place. So this is the midterm elections. Me being outside of the US, if I wanted to vote, I would have to mail my ballot. So yes, for those of you who are curious about the whole voting and elections in the US, this will be one of the events in 2026, the midterm elections. Okay. Next, we have an event on basically travel and social media screening. So I think a lot of countries now have been updating a lot of their policies with travel and things like that. So in the US, apparently early next year, the US government is considering implementing a new rule for tourists who are visiting. So that rule being people who apply for a visa waiver with ESTA may be required to give information on their social media history for up to 5 years. So I guess if you plan to ever apply for this visa waiver, if you're visiting the US, then maybe you might have to show your 5 years of social media history. So social media being things like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever social media you use, X, Twitter. I always call it Twitter, but I guess it's X now. So yes, if you are maybe not so keen on that, then please take note of this potential new rule that will be implemented. And more people are coming and tuning in. Thank you for writing all your comments into the chat. From Haiti, nice. Oh yes, most countries are going digital, like you said. So Japan is slowly getting there, not as up to date compared to other countries, but yes, most countries are going cashless. So that is why the event with the whole penny being stopped will be a thing. Yes. So this rule, back to the whole social media 5-year history rule, is not finalized yet, but it is open for public comment until February 2026. So if you guys have any opinions on this, that's what you guys can talk about and discuss. So this is set for early next year, but nothing is set in stone at the moment. And again, if you missed it at the beginning of the stream and towards midway through the stream, I mentioned that we will be having a huge holiday sale. So don't miss out on this sale. You can master English and get your lifetime premium plan, and it's up to 68% off on our English lessons. So get this holiday sale now, and it is in the description. So if you open the description below and click the link, you will get this massive discount on our lifetime premium plan. So you'll get our English lessons. This will help you master English, become fluent, speak like a native. So yes, don't forget to check that out, and it will be in the link. Okay, so basically 2026 is going to be quite a noticeable and I guess big year in the US. One being what I said earlier, the 250th anniversary. That's probably the biggest event that's happening in the US, and also because it will be throughout the whole year. I believe the website that I mentioned earlier, if you check in Google, it's called, I think, America 250. You can look at all the scheduled and planned events for the celebration of America's 250th anniversary of being independent. So yes, and there will be a lot of other public events. The FIFA World Cup, that's always a big one. A lot of people are into soccer. Sadly, I am not, and I don't know much about soccer, but for those of you who are, this is exciting for you, I'm sure. So you can feel free to comment your thoughts and your feelings about the World Cup that will be happening. And again, the penny will stop in circulation. There will also possibly be a social media screening that is not exactly finalized, but it's a potential possibility. And the moon mission where it will go, the Artemis II will fly around the moon. So that's another event. So yes, this coming year will be quite an eventful one. And I'm sure each of your countries will also have a bunch of events as well. So these are just some of the events in the US. And of course, there's always going to be the usual holidays in the US. So Easter is a big one. We have Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving just passed this year in November, but next November there will be Thanksgiving, and that's always a big event. Of course, Christmas is a big event, and because there are so many people from all around the world, there's other holidays like Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. These are all different holidays in the US that people celebrate. So for those of you in the US or outside of the US, please feel free to comment which event you're excited for, which events will be happening in your countries, or if you're in the US, where in the US and what events will happen where you are. I would love to see. And yes, so the final question that we have for today's live stream is, what would you like to do in 2026? So I don't know if maybe some of you also follow this, but it's very common for people to make a New Year's resolution once it becomes the next year. So what do you plan to do to change? Maybe some people want to work on being more organized. That's something I would put for my resolution. I need to be more organized. Maybe some people want to learn a new language, for example, English, and we will have our up to 68% off discount. So if your New Year's resolution is to learn a new language, English, don't forget to click our link in the description, and that will lead you to the sale, and you can get your lifetime premium for all the English lessons that will help you become fluent and master English. But yes, so please comment all of your goals, your resolutions, things you plan to do in 2026, things you're looking forward to, any events, any special holidays. Yes, and New Year's resolution is always important. So if you guys have any, feel free to type that into the chat. So I mentioned, for me, I think being organized is definitely one. Some people might want to lead a healthier lifestyle and exercise more, or maybe wake up earlier. So it could be big goals, could be small goals, maybe even just walking a little bit faster, or something like eating a little bit healthier once a week. So yes, anything like that, feel free to comment into the chat. And that is it for today's stream. So these were some of the biggest events that we covered. Of course, there's more, so feel free to search those up yourself. And next week's live stream will be how to write Christmas messages in English, because next week the live stream will be on the 25th, which is Christmas Day. So for those of you that do celebrate Christmas and are excited, that's what the live stream will be about. And maybe some of you guys, or wherever you are in the world, it might be the 24th for you during the live stream, which will be Christmas Eve, which is also a big event. So that's something you guys can look forward to for next week's live stream. And that is it for today. So thank you guys for tuning in to today's live stream. I'm Daphne, for those of you who don't know my name, and I will see you all next time. So I hope you guys learned a lot about the events.